Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Funk, Thinking Right, out here in the lab. What do I do for you? And I got something nice for you today. Get ready, put your seatbelt on, get your popcorn. We about to take a ride. Excuse me. Excuse me. Writism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. I got a message and story for you today for life that will do you some good. Why? Because you can implement it, you can use it for yourself. That's the whole purpose of right thinking philosophy, what I do. Let's go. I appreciate you tuning in. Numbers looking good. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka to know thyself. That's my mission, to get all my right thinkers to do just that. Know themselves. Your goal as a right thinker to tune in to do just that, learn and implement so that you can know yourself. Let's go. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's what I do. What I do. This is all for you. Stay tuned. I got you. A person who knows not and believes that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock. I'm here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons, they reside in you. Right thing to know that self. To my eye, be true. Today, your boy, I got nothing but a desk full of books, and I'm going through them now just to put some lessons together. Here's another one: Egyptian Mysteries. She taught Netta, which is another term for right thinking philosophy, because that's what I practice. Okay, just change the name because I add my own little side stuff to it to make it uniquely. Okay, today, right thinking. Let's talk about karma, my favorite girl, and reincarnation, but it's really Judgment Day because you see how it play out, and hopefully you can learn something about your upcoming Judgment Day. It would be good to be informed. If you don't need this information, fine. But if this information you need, pay attention. I got you. Let's go. Now, many people know the term karma, okay, and that's why it has been used here to introduce this concept in relation to Netarian or right thinking philosophy, theology. However, most people do not truly understand the concept, even from the most popular source, which is East Indian culture. They think, they took the concept of karma and made a whole culture out of it, pretty much. But firstly, the Netarian African religious terms is really Irie. We talked about that before. I put you down on that a long time ago. What is Irie? Watch this. The answer to that question can be found in what? The Rupert M. Haru text, or the Book of Enlightenment, or known as the Book of Coming Forth by Day. And like my man say, and another incorrectly named is as the Book of the Dead. Okay, it never was the Book of the Dead. They misinterpreted because it was buried with the dead. So hence the Book of the Dead. That's not what it was about. Another lesson there, but that's another misinterpretation of our stuff. If we teach our stuff, we don't misinterpret it. When they teach it, it's a misinterpretation. So let me move on. Teaching our stuff. She has, watch this. Oh yeah, okay. The goddess Mayat presides over righteousness, order, and truth. She has some associates, okay, divinities, aka God and goddesses, who carry forth the fate of an individual in accordance, watch this, your fate is being in accordance with what? Their actions were in life. What you do now, what you do until that day comes is accumulating, watch this. Now the goddess, Miss Hint, presides over the future birth of any individual. She's at the birthing chair. You see her one time as the cow, next time you see it, she's at the birthing brick. But she represents, watch this, only the accumulation of the process of reincarnation known as spelled UHM or sometimes UHEM. So it's pronounced Now, in reality, it is, listen to this. In reality, it is the individual who determines his or her own fate by the actions they perform in life. When I try to explain to you, just live right, do right, be right, because your actions is being recorded, it's being watched, and it's accumulating. If you have a heavy heart, if you are judgmental, or you are hypocritical, or you just not a good person, your heart is going to be heavy with nonsense, okay? Greed, jealousy, all the bad stuff, right? Negative stuff that weighs the heart down. When you doing good deeds, righteous living, doing the right thing, your heart will become light. So at Judgment Day, you won't have all that baggage. That's the concept. Okay, let me help you out. That's the reason why living a righteous life and a good life is beneficial down the road. Watch this. But however, the wisdom of the ancient Egyptian sages dictated, watch this, that the process should be explained in mythological terms to help what? People better understand the philosophy. It's put into mythological terms. They tell you stories, the myths, okay, so that you can help understand the the philosophy that's being set forth before you. This process works as follows. Listen, the deity Shah, at Judgment Day, he represents you. He's standing in. And then you got Ren Nunut, govern as your individual's fate or destiny. They're twins. They're your fortune. Okay. Fate is Shah, destiny and your fortune, and it comes down to you reap what you sow. Your destiny is based on your fortune is based on your destiny, what you did, how you did it. Watch this. These deities are the hands of the great God Tahuti. Now, Tahuti symbolizes the intellectual development of the human being. Remember, he's described, he keeps records. Every time you see him, he's got his arm out and he's keeping records. That's his job. That's your intellect. That's your thought process, aka your memory, all that's involved. That's who Tahuti represents. Now, he inscribes, watch this, a person's fate once they have faced the scales of Maya. At the scales of Maya, he's there. Anubis says, make sure you got the balance right. And if the heart is lighter than the feather, he writes it down and he passes on. Watch this. Now, at the scales of Maya, that is their they are judged in what? In reference to their past ability to what? Uphold who? Maya in life. 42 confessions of Maya. If you live by them, you lighten your heart and you put yourself in a good position to be a good person. But why? Because a person's, watch this, intellectual capacity reflects in your actions. If you're ignorant, you're going to do bad things. If you're enlightened, if you know thyself, you know how to conduct yourself and do the right thing. That's what it's all about. Watch this. This is the difference. Further, excuse me, you're judged by your actions. Again, further, God does not judge anyone. Well, I'm going before God. I'm standing right. I'm hear Him say, "Good job, my good, well done, my good and faithful servant." Sorry, I need to break that bubble. Don't work that way. Well, from Egyptian concept, maybe the Christian concept, but not Egyptian concept. Watch this. Why? Because God does not judge anyone because we are all essentially, if you know thyself, we are all essentially gods and goddesses. We are sparks of the same divinity. So God within us is what judges us. How'd that grab you? Ain't no outside entity going to judge you. Why? They don't know you. But it's the inside entity, which is the heart where God dwells. He knows. He knows the heart of all his people. So the old phrase, my old man used to watch his come up a series, The Shadow. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of man? This shadow knows. Unless this shadow is God, he don't know either. But God knows. That's why this. Now this is an objective judgment which only the individual is what? Responsible for, and it occurs at the unconscious level of the mind, when in the conscious mind. Not the one you think with, but the heart conscious mind. That's what you get judged by, because that's what keeps track of everything you think, feel, and do. Not this mind, the CONSCIENCE mind, the conscious mind, science. They got it figured out. They knew that. And watch this. The level of the mind, watch, beyond any interference. Why? Your unconscious mind is the heart. It goes beyond any interference from who? A person's personality, or guess what? Your ego conscious, which is on the surface level of the mind. Yeah, he's the first level. You got to raise them. So if you live on the first level and never get past the third level of beastly nature, and raise up with your heart chakra at the fourth level, and then the throat chakra, speaking Makaru, and then enlightening, third eye opening, the Andra chakra, which is the sixth, and the seventh is the crowning. That's what we all as human beings have at our disposal to use to get to that level as human beings. That's the key. Watch that. And my goal as a right thinking philosopher master to get you to do that for yourself. I've done it. I know. That's why I teach it. Okay. Let me get this thing rolling. I got a lot of work to do. I got too much time. Therefore, watch this. One's conscious desires to go to heaven. Yeah, when I die, I want to go to heaven. You know, we didn't have heaven. Okay. Feel the reeds, the place where nothing moves, everything is at peace. That's where all the blissed out spirits go back to reside and rest for all eternity. Okay. If you want to go to heaven at the time of death, or one's conscious repentance at the time of death, for what? Your misdeeds in life, they cannot overcome the weight of what? Your IRE. That means your negative actions during life. Your heart is too heavy. You didn't purify your heart. Watch this. What's IRE? IRE is action. Things done. Make things happen. Deeds. Preferably good. IRE, aka karma. One has set up, watch this, one has set up during a lifetime. You stack up brownie points, so to speak, to find out which side your heart is going to be on that scale. You got bad, you got good. When bad is heavy, good is outweighed. So that's negative karma. That's not going to work good for you at Judgment Day. The ideas, let me get to this part that makes it all worthwhile. Who we at down here? Now, and the heart, okay. Now, so it's important, watch this, to begin when? Now, to do what? Start purifying your heart. If I was in church, I was a preacher, I'd be saying, get your house in order. Okay, that means straighten things out within yourself. So it's the same thing, purifying your heart and cleansing the soul, so as to what? Become Makaru. That's true of speech, pure of heart. At the time of judgment, that's where you want to be. If death come knocking at the door and say, all right, let's go, I'm going to get up, walk out. Why? I'm ready to throw my heart on the scale and see where I'm at. I'm ready to put it to the test. Why? I'm putting the work in. I ain't no problem. I ain't scared. I seen more man squirm. Because why? Death is imminent. We know that. But when you haven't got your house in order, if you ain't doing things you need to do, then you're going to have fear. And fear will drive you crazy at the end days. Okay, watch this. Now, the gods and goddesses are what your real actual cosmic forces, which only facilitate the process. They don't do nothing but what they do. But it's up to you to emulate them, and then you become like them. But from, watch this, a mythological and a philosophical standpoint, conceptually, they are concepts for what? Understanding the mystical philosophy of the teachings of Shaitan, aka right thing philosophy. The idea is to enlighten you, get you the information, knowledge that you can use and become the best you can be. Reach Nihas. Okay? Once the judgment has been rendered, watch this. Now the goddess Miss Hint takes over and appoints the person's future family. This is something I don't particularly care for. I'm gonna go through it right quick. Why? They place a birth, your social status, etc. So it's pretty much saying you're already positioned where you're supposed to be from your prior life. If you get reincarnated, they're gonna try to situate you and put you in a better position so that you figure it out. The soul is here to learn lessons. Okay, that's the concept. Now, this is not meant as what punishment. No, again, not punishment as a process of what leading the soul to what appropriate place where they can grow spiritually. Every being goal is to become spiritually and reach the nihas, that level where you can go back home. Until then, it's gonna keep revolving door. They're born, they die. They're born, they die. That's the cycle of life. Understand that? You I'm gonna teach you how to take yourself out of the cycle. I'm gonna get to it right quick. Once I get down here. Now, if before you die, you desire to be a musician, the goddess who sent you to the country or the family and circumstance and situation where this desire can be pursued and resolved. If you figure it out, your gift that you have to come into the body and figure it out, use it, and then take you where you want to go. If you were a mugger, there you go. In your past life, I was a drug dealer, not a good dude, but watch this. You will end up in a place, watch this, and a situation where you will experience the pain and the suffering such as you caused the other. Again, you reap what you sow. It's the boomerang. You throw it out there, it's coming back. The only question is how, and that's up to you. Now, this experience will what teach you how to act otherwise in the future. Learn from the mistakes. The soul, if it didn't get enlightened, the next body get in, it's wanting the person that's in to do its job, but they got no control. It's just long for the ride. Watch this. So thus improving what? Your future birth. What you do after that is within the purview of what? Your own free will. That's what we're given, free will, and your actions in this new lifetime. Once you get reincarnated, engendered, but to determine the next, and on and on. This process, death, life, reincarnation, unless you do what? We're getting there now. This process is Miss Hint's destiny of birth. Miss Hint is the manifestation of what? One's shot, never your spirit body, God. Positive destiny. Living right, doing right, you will end up where you need to be. Otherwise, watch this, or one's shot mint. Nefer is positive, mit, MIT is negative destiny. Not hell. Watch this. This is one's harvest. You reap what you sow. When you did bad things, you're going to harvest negative stuff or what one reaps from one's action. Again, you reap what you sow. You put good out, you good. You put sneaky, deceitful out, you got problems. So understand that. I'm moving on. Watch this. Now, this is the process leading to Ankh, which is reincarnation. Why? Because you had negative IRE, which is action and deeds. You didn't live right. Long story short, quick. The objective, watch this, is to lead oneself on a process of increasingly better births until when it is possible to have reached spiritual inclination, aka spiritual awakening, and maybe have the company of a sage and saint who can lead you, the person, to what? Self-discovery. When a person achieves this self-discovery that they call it now, they are referred to as Ak. AKH. What that is, an enlightened being, the enlightened one, Nehas. That's what your goal is. First, a person must become virtuous. Why? Because this is how you purify a person's heart through actions, and thus also their IRE, which is karma, basis. Negative IRE leads to negative situation again, but also to mental dullness, ignorance, no knowledge, lack of knowledge, self-destruction. When the mind is in the dull state, ignorant state, full of base thoughts, nonsense, desires, feelings, greed, anger, lust, all those things that bring the heart heavy on the heart. And it is hard, watch this, to understand the teachings. You have no understanding. This is the opposite of WRIGHT, which may be referred to as insect. That means mind afflicted by who? Fetters of set, yourself, due to your ego and ignorance of your higher self. You're going to do the things that you want to do for yourself. A lot of us didn't survive doing that. This is much mental agitation and suffering in the dull state of mind. This is what people who live that lifestyle, the positive karma, watch this, bases allow harmonious surroundings and birth into what? A family of spiritually minded people, as well as a company of sages, means preceptors, teachers, masters. But most importantly, watch this, the clarity of mind to understand the wisdom teachings of right thinking philosophy. If the soul is judged to be pure, of pure in reference to Maya, that means you pass the judgment of Maya. Watch this. It will not be led to aka reincarnation. You stop the cycle when you become enlightened. But watch this. To the inner shrine where it meets its own higher self. Again, God, in essence, Asar. Now he's the king of the dead. The soul meets Asar, which is the supreme being in the afterlife. This meeting ends any future possibilities of what? Aka reincarnations. It means becoming one with the divine self, aka the higher self. It is termed nihas. That's my favorite word for y'all to understand. Resurrection. In essence, the siren resurrection. Listen, this is the only way to break the cycle of reincarnation. Waking up, realizing who you are, aka Nihas. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope it made the point. I tried to get it through as fast and quick as I could, so I'll be back. I got more.